football or baseball or any other sport you can think of.
You know, you're not going to be sitting up there like a little princess. It takes a lot of sweat and it takes a lot of muscle.
It takes time to learn because it's not something that can be learned in an hour or a day. It takes years.
It's really a sport that can release your stress. It really is. School gets to you a lot as a kid. Horse girls, they usually get picked on because they're not softball, they're not soccer. But you know, they really do know. When we stick together with horse girls, it's so much fun. Like you can talk about it more than you can talk about like baseball to each other.
Like other girls who walk around in high heels, horse girls go around in boots. And instead of the mall, it's the barn.
Oliver and I are working on cross trails. My biggest challenge working on cross trails is looking ahead and turning and not cutting my corner.
Today I rode waffles. With waffles I am cantering. I try to sit down and keep my heels down and settle in.
Victor is sometimes stubborn.
Yes.
He's thinking, I'd rather go back to my stall and eat my hay.
Devin is calm and he's a really good horse because he listens well most of the time.
I think Curie is thinking, okay, let's get moving because I'm starting to get tired of standing here.
Waffles is thinking, this is fun.
I think group riding is fun, but sometimes hard because you don't want to run into another horse, so you have to circle and everything, and you have to pay a lot of attention to
It's a
the
good
other
challenge.
riders around you.
And you should always think ahead before you do something else.
And you also have to have a good idea of what your horse is thinking because you know that you might have different ideas of where to go than your horse might, and you have to know your horse really well so you know what they might try.
That it's hard to stay out of people's way in a small space.
And it takes a lot of teamwork.
You really have to pay attention to where you're going to avoid colliding with the other riders and their horses.
And you have to make sure that the horse doesn't kick.
And I think everyone needs to at least have one group ride together so they can, you know, be realistic about riding.
It's important to adjust your girth because if you didn't, then the saddle could, if it was too loose, then the saddle could slip underneath the pony's belly and you might fall off.
Well, and while you're in the tack stall with the irons, you measure them roughly, and it's not typically a perfect measurement. And a lot of times you have to adjust them once you get back into the ring.
It's hard to adjust up in the winter because you're wearing like gloves and it makes it hard to like adjust buckles and everything.
You know, someone might not be out there to, you know, help you get it. So you gotta learn to do it on your own.